like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So I made a bit of a mistake the other day. On Tuesday, when is it? The September the 13th, right? September the 13th, I did a live stream, and I have Corona. I still have Corona, but I did it really as it was peaking, and it hit its peak as I started the live stream, right? You could go back and watch that live stream. You'll see my pupils dilate. I did hold it together. I was quite impressed with myself. But I had to end the stream early. I was like an hour. I just was out of it, right? I was out of it, beyond out of it. Today I'm feeling better. I'm working too hard though, right? I took a full day off yesterday and I got a lot better. Right? As soon as I finish making this video, I'm going to have a few hours downtime, I think. I think that's good for everybody, right? But while I was doing it, I said, I got to do my review of Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, right? I got to get that in. But because I was addled when I was doing it, I think I missed out important. I don't remember, right? I don't remember because I was really out of it. I think I missed out in important parts of the review. I just kind of went over the story, right? Which, fortunately, I'm here to rectify now. So I'm feeling like a tiny bit better. Right, before we get into it, like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are very, very, very good. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful. Sign on my paid Substack. Sign on my paid Substack. Sign on my free Substack. They're all good. Will they cure cancer? Maybe. Give it a go. You never know your luck. $5. Give it a try. If it doesn't cure cancer in the first week, just try staying a member for like 6-7 months. That should do the trick for you. Anyway, so I think this was another solid episode of House of Dragon. This wasn't a knock it out the park one. It was a bit darn creepy, which is what we're going to talk about. But it's certainly a strong, interesting episode. I do like how they fix the problem of the Westeros Express by only having it take place in one location per episode, right? And have them traveling to and from the location in between episodes. That I think is quite clever, and I think that works well. But the thing that I thought was really clever about it is that, honestly, the reason that I really got into this show was Paddy I can't remember his last name, playing the king. I love his performance of the king, right? That thing has really, really, really knocked it out of the park. I love that. How much he hates it, right? How much he absolutely hates it, and how much he basically wants to keep the peace. He wants to keep the kingdom together. He wants everybody to do their duty, and how insanely irritated he is that those around him can't show the same fortitude that he does, right? And it just makes him crazy, and it's degenerating. So I'm saying with that, it took me a little bit to pick up on, which again, good storytelling is that they're not spoon-feeding it to you, right? You notice it, how he's slowly degenerating from this, wasting disease. So apparently he has some form of leprosy. But why I think this is working is because, he's a man weighted down by duty and responsibility. And he's not really suited for that. He's not really a natural leader. He's kind of strikes me somewhat like King George. Is it King George? Yeah, the Queen of blessed memory, Queen Elizabeth of blessed memory. It's so hard to get your head around that she's gone. Her father didn't want to be king, right? Was not into it. It was all duty, right? All a sense of I think his sense of duty and responsibility filtered through, and was a major thing in winning World War II, right? I really absolutely do, and I do think it killed him, right? I think that's one of the things that recently he died young. Because it's a very hard thing. So you see this played out in his body. His body just starts to decay and fall apart. His fingers are all falling off, and just he's not looking good. But you do have what I found the most interesting part of this week's episode is the look at royal sexuality, which I thought they did interesting. So you have the king he's married to. He's what, in his 40s, 50s? He looks old, right? And he's married to a 20-year-old, 22-year-old. I don't show how old she's supposed to be in the show. In the original Game of Thrones, they're all supposed to be about 14, 12, and I'm like, really? Right, Jon Snow looks 12? No, I don't. Okay, whatever. So you have a scene where he calls her to his bed to sleep with her, and I do like how he there's a real tenderness you see between this couple, right? Earlier in the episode, she's like kind of soothing his sores and stuff, and gently. And again, I like the sweetness between them, right? I do like the sweetness between them, and it's. But that scene, the scene with them sleeping together is juxtaposed with Matt Smith taking the Queen's best friend, is the princess, who's heir to the throne, to the Streets of Silk, the red light district of King's Landing. It's not really clear how they shot it. It looks like they had a bit of sex, right? It looks like it might have been her first. I just assume that she wasn't a virgin at this point. She looks too old to be a virgin. But in story, they say she was, right afterwards. So what I found fascinating about this was how they juxtaposed the two things. Is one more wrong than the other? Well, obviously you'll say, well, the king and the queen are a married couple, and it's like, that's the kosher way of doing things. But also, you see the queen not really that interested in the sex. She's like boredly looking away, and at one moment that tenderly, right, the king like looks at her during their lovemaking, and she smiles at him, and she just wants to make him feel good, I think, or to get through. But she's not interested, right? She's not interested, and it's a union that is completely legal, proper, and wholesome. Whereas juxtaposed to the Matt Smith Rhaenyra hookup, is wrong in every way, right? It's wrong in every way, and it seems to be much more pleasurable. Although he really can't go through with it. It seems to be. So it seems like his motivation for the whole thing, Matt Smith's motivation for the whole thing, who plays a villain, and I do like the villain that he plays, is to end up marrying Rhaenyra, the heir. So he will once again be the heir to the throne, right? And I think that's really the main motivation going on. I haven't read A Dance with Dracula. I haven't read all the Game of Thrones books. I read the first one, right? I read the first one. I went, wow, that was so much better than the TV show, and I thought the TV show was very good. But anyway, I missed all of this in my review. Because I was a little bit out of it. I was a bit spacey at the time. Happens to the best of us. What can I say here? So let me hand over to myself from 2 nights ago. If you can see me like sweating profusely or staring blankly into camera, now you know why, right? So let me hand over to my somewhat sicker self from a couple of nights ago. Dun 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 dun. I still don't like them using the Game of Thrones theme music, right? I don't like it at all, right? It annoys me. It's I think it should have more of its own identity. I don't really like this title sequence either. It's trying to be something, and I don't think it really works very well, right? It's all about the Targaryen blood flowing hither and thither, the bloodlines, and I'm just finding it hard to follow, really, and irritating. And again, it doesn't work as well as the game pieces, and having the music is a bit distracting as well. It's better than the Lord of the Rings titles, but anything is better than anything connected with Lord of the Rings, because that's shit beyond shit, right? That is super duper shit. Was it? Dun 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 dun. House of the Dragons. This is what, episode 4, isn't it? King of the Narrow Sea. Fine, the creepy one. So fine. So what's the significance of this at the beginning? Many may have forgotten. This, I believe, is a necklace that was given to her by Matt Smith, right? Matt Smith plays Prince Daemon Targaryen, the younger brother of the king. This is the daughter of the king, who's also the heir to the throne, but she's a lady, so it's a bit unusual. And right at the beginning of the first episode, you got that she kind of looked up to and was somewhat horny for Matt Smith. It kind of like, I'll tell you exactly what I like. Look, she was looked at Matt Smith the way Lala Ward looks at Tom Baker in City of Death, right? When she's dressed as a schoolgirl, like licking her lips. Yeah, she seems to be turned on by him and turned on by the idea of being turned on by him. It's something like devilishly naughty and grown up about him, right? And I think that's he knows that as well. She feels that as well. Anyway, so she's playing around with that as she's doing on this tour to find suitors, right? So she's going all around Westeros on this lengthy tour and just meeting all these people, and she's hating all of them, right? She's got like the good-looking guy from Dawn as a bodyguard. And she's bored as hell, as like, yeah, completely unsuitable, like, you're too old, leave me alone. And this kid shows up, right? From I think it's from Blackwood Mott. I think he's really kind of fun. He said, you'll be safe in my house, I'll protect you. And you have this, like, this guy says, she's got a dragon, she doesn't need your protection. Who is that? It looks like there's a Baratheon. Is that a Baratheon stag that she's got on? He's got on. So, you know, she's like, okay, I've had enough, I can't do anymore. And he gets pissed off with him, so they start a fight, right? And they start hacking away. And she looks back, next thing you know, boom, he's dead, right? Got a sword right through his gut. Killed him. Which I kind of like that. I thought that was fun. Meanwhile, so now she's going back to King's Landing, and they really dealt with the Westeros Express thing quite well by just, I think, having a time gap between each episode. And everything that happens in that episode happens in that same location, right? I think that really kind of helped. Back to King's Landing with and they say, "Oh, look out below!" And the dragon comes and swoops over and nearly knocks the ship over. Like, she bangs her head. She's fine. It's like, whoa, and she can see that again. I think that's Matt Smith's, not Matt Damon, a dragon. And you know, she kind of likes it, right? This puts a lot into context as the episode goes on, right? One second, stand up. Oh man, there you go. Meanwhile, I'm loving this guy's performance as the king as well. Like, it's so subtle, right? You know, basically, he feels like he was put in this position, and his job is to maintain the crown and maintain maintain the kingdoms. Right? And so he has to play politics. I don't think he particularly likes it, but he's a realist enough to realize he has to do it, even though it's not that he realizes how trapped he is, right? And you do see all these pressures like pulling him apart. Right, so puts his crown on, right, and in comes Matt Smith, wearing this kind of weird bamboo-y crown, and he's like, now he's got a haircut. So they may be the king of the Irons of this, the Narrow Sea, and and it looks like he's gonna like kind of kick off a little bit, right? Oh, hey. Doink. Right, maybe the king of the Narrow Sea, but there is only one. Yeah, there's only one king, and that's the crab feeder's hammer, I think. So melt it into the chair, right? And he says, but there is only one king, and it's basically they made peace again, sort of, right? Now, remember last week, he was so pissed off that he was given help that he basically single-handedly ended the war, right? They had this huge thing. I think his hair got awfully bloody and needed a cut, right? So, you know, they're all, everybody was claps, they're kind of friends again, yay, right? At the party, you got the king's young wife, who's the same age as his daughter. Oh man, um, like trying to make small talk, and like you can tell that she's just a different generation, and they kind of take the piss out of her, right? And you can see that going on, and she kind of enjoys that. So she goes off in a huff, and basically she confides that she doesn't have that many friends in court. She's kind of lonely, right? And you have this nice friendship moment, and I grabbed the screen grab for a reason, because I think this, and I hope I'm not wrong, right? This I really like, because this seemed like a genuine friendship, which like is so rare now. This normally means, oh, they're lesbians, right? No, this means like this genuine friendship support, and I hope that's what it was, because I think that that's nice. I think that works. When they meet, there's kind of like this flirting going on, and he's like, and they talk about it. She's like, it's all for being married off. I can't stand it. It says, when you're married, you can do whatever you bloody like. It's just political. It doesn't really matter. It is. It's why he hasn't had a kid with his wife. Said, I doubt a child could grow in such hostile environs. I do like his performance, right? It's like he's good at doing the regal thing, Matt Smith, right? He's like slightly evil, very evil at times. Meanwhile, a small council, the sea snake who was in the war with Damon, still is pissed off, and now he's marrying his son. I can't bloody remember, right? They're like, really? He's still pissed off. I didn't marry his 12-year-old, that creepy fuck. So then, everybody retires for the evening, and the story of the evening is a lot of juxtaposition, right? She's looking after the baby. She goes into a room and closes the door and finds a bag there, right? And the bag, there's clothes and a note. Note says, look over there, and there's like, she shows her where there's a secret door, and there's clothes for her to change into. She goes out the secret door, past the dragons, as you do, and meets up with her uncle. And he's like, you go to that he's going to show a night on the town. Oh, Lonnie's there. How you doing, Lonnie? Thank you for joining us. He's going to show a night on the town. He's like her entrance into a scarier, more adult world, right? Which is very alluring when you're a younger kid. Although she's supposed to be 18, so I'm surprised she's not more worldly. But that's what she's always liked about him, right? And in hindsight, he is definitely preying on that for political end, and I think he hates himself for it at the same time, right? That's my take on it. If anyone has a different take watching it, you let me know. Anyway, so he's taking her out into King's Landing, in disguise, and there's all like kind of crazy stuff going on. General things you'll find in King's Landing, like magicians that I'll tell you your future, I'll read you when you're gonna die. I'm like, well, I don't want to know that. That sounds pretty grim. Meanwhile, he's being bathed, and the attendant isn't doing a good job. But he's got these sores and stuff. I wish I knew he's had this like degenerating ailment all the way through, and I don't know what it is, but I like that it's not like everything isn't screamed at me, right? So his wife does, and it's like, you're doing it very better than anybody else. Thank you very much. They send her away. Again, I do kind of like this tender relationship. I think it's kind of sweet. Meanwhile, but out in King's Landing, they did this with in Game of Thrones. I guess it's hard not to repeat yourself, where you had Hugh Grant was one of the head of a troupe of players, and they would comment on the things going on in the story as politics, in a satirical way. So they talk about her in a satirical way, like how the king has one daughter and a son, and who's going to go on the throne, and take the piss out of the daughter, because they don't think she'll be very good. And again, you can see Matt Smith slyly thinking things through, or he has done. So then after that, she runs off. Meanwhile, goes to bed, being very, very hot, I would say. She runs off and is caught by a gold cloak, but let go. And Matt Smith takes her. That was at the Street of Silks, I think it's called, the red light area. So anyway, so she gets a call that says the king would like to see you. The king is kind of randy, is basically what they're saying. So he takes her to like this like super red light area, lots of skin, lots of bodies rubbing together, right? And again, I just thought that she was already, not a virgin. She seemed older. And he's like, he wants to educate her about, sex in a kind of weirdly uncly way. Meanwhile, the king is shagging her friend who's the same age, and it's kind of creepy. And she's like, yeah, okay, then, fine. Okay. And he goes for quite a while, the king. I was quite impressed. So once they get into the certain brothel, they take their hats off so that they can be openly Targaryen. And it is getting weirder and weirder, right? And you can see her getting like more turned on. And the Targaryens have all this weird history of incestual relationships, right? And he's like saying, look, it's okay to like sex. It's normal. And she, at some point, he's like grunts over her and she smiles at him at the same time. So they start making out, right? And I can't tell how far it goes. I think we're in penetration territory here, right? Or not. Again, I'm not entirely sure, right? I'm not entirely sure. It's not that clear. I mean, even though you see the whole thing, it's not that clear, right? Because it's about to get more heated, and she tries to kiss him, he pulls away, and there's like these like kind of cool power games going on, and they're really about to start getting into it, and then all of a sudden he like stops and he storms away, right? Leaving her alone. So again, I don't know how far they got. I think they may have got to penetration a little bit. I really don't know. You're guessing this is a kids show. That is true. That is true. So she goes to leave and is followed by someone. So then the princess comes back to her room, and he was like waiting on guard outside. So what's going on? I said, "Are you okay?" And she calls him in, and she's horny as anything, right? She needs what's Susan Sarandon's song in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've got an itch to scratch. That's basically what's going on. So she really wants to shag this guy. And I'm not sure how willing he is, but he's like, I guess you're the queen princess. I don't have a choice. And they, it takes quite a while to get out of Game of Thrones clothing. But that's their night for you. Again, it doesn't seem to be too awful a time, right? Meanwhile, the person who followed the princess comes and talks to the hand. Next morning, shit's about to hit the fan, mate. Shit's about to hit the fan. Matt Smith is waking up in a brothel. She's back. So this was the who is like his wife, sort of, was in the first or second episode, I can't remember. They split up again, or I don't know. But she's running this brothel tavern in King's Landing, and so in the morning, the hand of the king goes to the king. So they got some, a little bit delicate information for you. A little bit delicate. Yeah, it's a little bit delicate. You might get pissed off. Nah, I'll be fine. Why don't you go and tell me? Well, your daughter. Yeah, what about her? She was seeing a fucking her uncle in a brothel. That's good. Not good news. That's not good news at all. And the queen hears it as well, having spent the night there. So she gets a summons in the morning. She says, "Hi, hey, then get someone in the morning to go and see the queen." And they're like, "What the hell? Like, what the hell?" And she says, "Look, nothing happened. He took me to see a show. That's it. Something happened. Not sure what, right? Something bloody happened." Meanwhile, Matt Smith comes in, staggering him, and is dragged to the throne. They throw him down, and they have a confrontation. And again, you see his how look, I just want everybody to be friends, and why is everybody a thought of my inside, right? Why is the entire universe I don't understand. What are you getting out of this? How am I going to be able to wed her off to anyone now? And so I think this was really Matt Smith's plan all along. He said, let me marry her, right? Let me wed her. And he said, "You're already married." Yeah, look, we're Targaryens. We can do that. What's the name did it? And he wants to kill him, essentially. So he sends him back to the Vale, to his wife, and said, "Piss off, I never want to see you again. Leave me alone." Right? And she said, "Look, I spoke to Rhaenyra, and she said, look, I'm still a virgin," which she isn't. But okay. But it doesn't look like she's nowhere she is. So he said, "Listen, I don't know what to think." She gets called into the king, and we get to see that dagger again. It's the same one, I think, that what's the name tried to kill Bran with. And he says, it has this song of fire and ice hidden into it by the metalsmith of Valyria, saying that it's a prophecy of the princess promised, standing a song of ice and fire. And I thought, look, this is bigger than all of us. We can't just do what the hell we want, right? So he tells her that she's got to marry what's the name, the sea serpent. I actually can't remember how they left it. And she's not good. I think it left it that I think she's supposed to marry him. And she says, "Fine, but your biggest person you got to worry about is the hand of the king, right? He's the one who had you lined up, who wants to get me and Daemon out of the way, out of the line on the throne, right?" So he calls him in. And he says, "Yeah, look, I think that you probably do. I don't trust you, right? I mean, you're a faithful hand, but I know you have your own agenda, right? You have your own agenda that you want your grandson to be on the throne, right? So essentially, he sends him away." He takes away his handship. The thing, yeah, he takes away his handship and sends him away. And it ends up with Rhaenyra getting a visit from the Grand Maester. It says this is a special tea, so there's no pregnancy, no consequences from you sleeping around, you filthy little whore. Essentially, right? Essentially, that was what the final scene is. I mean, I think they end up to. I don't know. But solid episode, right? So totally a solid episode. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.